Hi everybody, good dog Luna here. I know it's been a bit since I've actually sat down and talked about something, but I figured this is kind of important. I thought we would address the big things in the room, such as predatory allegations, cub fur allegations, any kind of thing that someone wants to depict of me. I thought we would just lay out on the line a little bit here. So I kind of want to go into talking about this, and this all stems from a creator named LtShadow. I can't remember the last time someone had a good interaction with this person. This is not a me calling them out sort of deal. It's just I don't know how is anyone friends with this guy? Is my question. Anyway, this is not where I'm going into this video with. I wanted to make this video to kind of talk about my history, what's been happening, why it's been happening, and how I want to go about fixing this. So recently I sent LtShadow a cease and desist letter, which didn't have my real legal name, nothing, because I'm not exposing my real name on a cease and desist letter to a post he made on X, right? It's not something I want to do. So what is going to happen is let's start with the past, like how this all started. So a long time ago, 2020, I think it was 2019 even, that I started VR chat. I was toxic. I was hated. I was mean. I was, quite frankly, rude. Everyone hated me. And I moved on since that. After the whole EAC thing, client sort of thing anymore, I just vanished. I was done. And with this being how it was, I decided I want to move on to bigger, better things. And now starting out at when I was first born, now this is kind of drifting away from that part a little bit, but I'm trying to make this come from the heart instead of just reading some kind of script or anything like that. So I know I'm going to ramble a bit, but when I was born, I was diagnosed with ADHD, bipolar, anxiety, severe anxiety, mind you, and a bunch of other things like Asperger's, whatever. And now this is not an excuse video, this is not an apology video, this is nothing like that. But I was diagnosed with these things, so when there was this post made by LtShadow calling me out for being a cub fur, which is not quite right, because while I have interacted with that community, I have never looked at anything, never saw an interest in it, I have never seen any of it. I know people who are actual cub furs. Like, they will go out of their way to make the NSFW art of minors, if you don't know what that is, of anthropomorphic minors. They will go out of their way to make stuff like that. Now, I have myself my puppy art. It's puppy art for a reason, alright? It is not to be conflicted with cub art. So there was this image, which I will leave in the description down below for anyone to go and view. I'll leave it in our Dropbox. And it was an image that I had on my profile for maybe 5 minutes, because I just came from an 18 plus event on VR chat, and I was not about to swap my art over or anything, because I needed to talk to my friend before I hide it for a few minutes. And I get in a fight with some people. Now this is during my toxic time, a little bit, like kind of in between. And yeah, I said some pretty hateful things. which also stemmed to a bunch of trolls following me, chasing me around, and then they reported me. And they didn't get banned, but I did. I got caught in the crossfire because they said my image was NSFW. Now, mind you, what I consider NSFW is far from what they consider NSFW. I know everyone has their own opinions, and you can have your own opinions, but don't hate the person if you don't know the facts. So the image was a picture of my puppy Sona. If you don't want to look at it, I'll explain it in a little bit in detail here. It is my puppy art of my Sona that has a Paw Patrol pillow that they're laying on and Paw Patrol underwear around their ankles. The point of the image, which no one has even bothered to ask me, was it was supposed to be a hot summer day. That was the depiction of the image. There was no genitalia. There was no NSFW. It had a butt on the image, but 99% of furries are naked. What are you going to do, dress up your dog every day? No. I'm sorry, but that's not how this works. Sure, some furries wear clothes. It was supposed to be a hot summer day. That was the depiction of the image. So if you're curious, if you guys want, I can tell you lore behind every image I have. It's actually a part of my summer series of what I was doing with myself, because I like to make lores behind all my pictures and stuff like that. I have another one of my puppy Sona where they're eating an ice cream cone. But at the same time, I don't want people getting the wrong idea. And that's what happened here. LtShadow posted that I'm a predator and cub licker because of my puppy art. No. There's no evidence that I'm a predator. I never talked to a minor. I have 18 plus on my profile for a reason. I don't even engage with minors. Anytime I see a child, I usually block them or move along. The only time I'll accept when I talk to minors is when I'm in a public instance on VRChat or something, or just in public in general, and someone says, nice suit, or can I get a photo, or those are the only interactions I have. Which, to be honest, I prefer that because it's just genuine, nice conversation. It never goes any further than that. And if you or another person gets the idea that I talk to minors on a regular basis, because if y'all don't know what a predator is, it's someone who actively looks at cupcake porn or looks at minors or has done things with minors. That is not what I'm doing. I have never done that. And to be depicted as that just because of my art looks like a puppy Sona? Oh, I mean it is, but looks as cub art when it's really not, because I don't even engage with that community at all. I have friends who are part of it, but again, I say if you're not hurting anybody, you do whatever you want as long as it doesn't drag me down with it. You know, I'm not going to call them out because I'm not like that. I'm not an asshole. I'm not that type of person. Okay. I just want to get out in the air that I'm not what some people claim and I am. Now, this is probably not even a big deal. It probably doesn't even matter, you know, but it matters to me because I feel like it makes people look at you different. And if you don't like me because of my puppy art Sona or whatever the case may be, by all means, I'm okay with that. You're entitled to your own opinions. You're, as a person, entitled to whatever you want to believe. But please don't let another person, what they say, determine what a person does. I mean, I cleaned up today. I cleaned up my whole area just so I can make this video. It was a bad mess in here. I want you, please, to look at this and understand how it affects me. Okay? Because this isn't the first time I've been accused of it. Everyone resorts to it after they see my art. And it's a problem. Like, I've also shown people my art. Like, the people that I've had genuine conversations with and actually talked to. I mean, sure, some people have said they found it weird or whatever the old saying is. But at the end of the day, it doesn't define me as a person. It doesn't mean I'm going to go and touch a child just because I like Paw Patrol. That's not what that means. I'm sorry to tell you, but that does not correlate. Those two things do not even correlate. I'm sorry to tell you, but that is blatantly, and I know this is considered a slur now, but absolutely retarded. Okay. Anyway, moving on from that. I've had genuine conversations with people, and I've even showed people my art. People are like, oh, that's just cute. That's just adorable. Like, I mean, I've gotten so many mixed things, like, that it just doesn't correlate to me anymore, why people do what they do. And the majority of the people that are following behind LtShadow and what he says, all these people posting on his profile, I go on their profiles and I look at them. They're toxic. These people are straight toxic. I don't see one thing about being wholesome. I don't see one thing about, oh, I love my community, oh, I love my friends. Not one. And that's a problem. Like, genuinely. Me, I've always stood up for my community. I've stood up for my friends. I've stood up for everybody. I'm probably saying stuff in this video right now that's probably wrong, that people are going to hate me for. And that's quite alright. I'm doing this to clear my mind, to put it out in the air of how I feel. Because I attend IRL cons. I attend things with my friends. I have friends IRL that know me, that know I would never do something like this. I have gone to the lengths of trying to report this post, gone to the lengths of just asking nicely for them to remove it. And I will post screenshots all down below showing, and I mean physically showing, LtShadow laughing at me. And even him trying to call me out on Twitter. Again. Which is dumb. It's a man-child who is handling his social media wrong just because he has a popular following. I don't care what kind of following you have. I don't care about how many fans you have. I don't care about what kind of influence you have. Okay? And if you hear any noise in the background, just please ignore it. I want to state that this right here, I'll be going to the efforts to have the post removed and seeing if I can. But if not, I want this to be a notice to everybody that, hey, this is not actually what's going on. If you want to know more and you want to understand me, feel free to message me. I will leave all my contact links below so anyone can contact me on this matter and understand more about the situation before you just go in and start saying random things, okay? But now on another term, because this has affected me, and I know it doesn't affect a lot of people, I think I'm going to change how I do things for the better. I, myself, am no longer going to be a content creator. There's too much drama in the scene. There's not enough here for me. I just want to remain part of the community and just be looked at like your average furry. Not even a creator, not even a following. because followings just hurt. They hurt. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to completely stop creating altogether. What I might do is just post like photos and stuff like that. And that's about it. I'm not going to go any further. I'm not going to discuss any drama. I'm not going to discuss VR chat. I might even quit VR chat as a whole. And that is like just after what happened, after these accusations, and me making this video, me giving him a cease and desist letter, him asking him to remove it. You know, he asked me in an email. It was like, and I don't know how you pronounce the word for it, but stratum effect or whatever. And it's where someone tries to cover up something. I'm not covering up anything. I will publicly show this photo to all of you, which I will in the description. Look at the description. I will post the photo publicly for everyone to view, because it is that important. Now, whether you think it's bad, whether you think it's good, whether you don't really give a shit, whatever you want to believe is you want to believe. I think everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and for me, it's too little to let down and let this take over my life. So what I ask of you, when you look at that photo or look at anything that I posted down below, like all the documents, all the spreadsheets, everything, keep in mind, at the end of the day, it's just art. I'm not going to go and actively touch a child. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm not going to go and do any of that. It's not even on my bucket list. I'm going to be honest with you right now. And this is kind of me being a little bit gruesome a bit. I'd rather see a predator get like that instead. And that's me just being 100% honest. But either way, whatever happens, whatever the outcome is, I want to let you all know that I'm going to be distancing myself from Twitter, VR chat, TikTok, all these different platforms to try to reclaim some of my life back. And whether it's small little people hating me or a lot, the damage is done. You know, what he did, it's done. So, again, please do consider what I say, what I do, you know, by heart, because I'm not reading any of this by a script. This is not a script. This is not me bloating. This is straight from in here. Straight from in here. I love everybody that has ever helped me, that has become my friend, that has just been there for me. I thank everybody. And partially it hurts. It hurts because I've been having dreams about this. I've been having people message me about it, and, you know, threats even. It's unwarranted. I would understand if people had proof of me doing this, of being a predator, but there is none, and there never will be any, because I'm not that person. And then I don't mean to rant, but this is something I had to get off my mind for a few days now, and it's something that needed to be said. Now, this can all be avoided, and I can come back to the platform if LtShadow would just hear me out and just remove the post. We can both go our separate ways, act mature about it. I can remove the cease and desist, all the legal letters I wrote, everything. can do all of that. But I just want this off the internet. I want my life to go back to normal. I didn't cause this. I didn't ask for this. Trolls, mean people, toxicity is where it stemmed from. This all started because of the way I was, because I was a toxic user. And I learned from that. I kind of wish these people would learn too, just to move on. Because he doesn't have to keep it up. He doesn't have to do all this gloating. He doesn't have to do any of this. I asked him several times if he could just take it down, which I will show. But it is what it is. And if I can't, I can't. But I'm gonna keep living my life how I want. Whether people hate me or not, whether you see me as a prat or not, doesn't matter. I didn't do anything. So you can tell a con about this, and they won't care, because I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. There's literally adult baby fur spaces inside the 18 plus section. I've seen it. I was there. I didn't go into that area, but I'm just saying. I've seen it. I walked past it. So this hate is unwarranted. This accusations are unwarranted. None of this is needed. Everyone just follows behind somebody popular. And that's a problem. Anyway, I'm done rambling because I've already made this way too long, and I feel like people don't really care all that much about the rest of the story. But again, I love everybody, and if you see any of my accounts go private or I'm just inactive, you know why. Again, this is my last final message to hopefully to come to some kind of agreement, is just move on and have LtShadow move on, have anybody that has ever thought of this, just move on. Let's all just be grown up about this and just move on. I have puppy art sona, so what? There's people who make worse. I'm not saying what I do is great. I'm not saying what I do is bad. It's what you deem as a person is you think is bad. If it's just art and it's not hurting anybody, who gives really a shit? If you're that mad about art and you think that a person is going to go out and do something bad, and there's a lot. I know people are going to try to fight that and say, oh, but it's this and that and this and that. I don't care. I'm not here to start a fight. I'm not here to start any of that. You believe what you want to believe at the end of the day. If you don't want to be my friend, don't be my friend. Don't talk to me. Don't interact with me. I'm cool with it. There's billions of people out in the world. I just don't want to be hated by everybody. I at least want some respect as a normal human being. If you don't want to see puppy art sonos, you never will. Because I usually keep that part of me to myself. The only reason I had it on my profile that one day was because I was showing my friend and I never switched it. Sure, that was on me. But anyway, I will leave that there. I hope no one comes at me anymore or hates me or whatever. But at the end of the day, I love everybody. I love all of you. Please help spread the word by liking and sharing the video around. And yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you sometime in the future. Maybe at the next con. Thanks again. Missing you all around.